I want to talk about the events of last night's fight, but in particular, Teofimo Lopez. I'm probably gonna just spend this whole stream talking about Teofimo Lopez and him basically getting a taste of his own medicine and him being a hypocrite. First of all, I don't feel sorry for Teofimo or his father, because at the end of the day, Teofimo, he got whooped on last night. He got beat. I had to fight 8 rounds to 4 for George Caboso Jr. I thought he clearly won that fight with great counter punching, uh, great effective aggression, using his jab. He just everything Teofimo tried to do, Caboso Jr. did it better. And that was just the tail of the tape. To be honest with you, this fight wasn't hard to score. There was never any swing rounds. The rounds that Teofimo won, he won, and the rounds that Caboso Jr. won, he won. With the exception of that first round, it looked like Teofimo landed something big. It looked like it could be over, and then boom, out of nowhere, Caboso floors him, and then it's pretty much downhill from there for Teofimo Lopez. He gets busted up, and he gets whooped on. But the thing is with Teofimo Lopez, because see, once again, I'm the guy that has to bring this stuff up because, like I told you, you know, I'm gonna go there. I told you I'm not worried about making enemies. I'm not worried about people not liking me. I'm not worried about being part of a clique or none of that stuff. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and that's just the bottom line. I'm not worried about anybody not liking me or liking what I have to say. To me, that was karma. I'm glad he got beat up, because now look at him now. This is a guy talking about he won 10 rounds to 2. But this is the same dude that was calling Wilder out his name, saying Wilder was acting like a sore loser and a bitch and all that kind of stuff. Well, who's the bitch now? Teofimo? Because that's exactly what you acting like. And I'm just keeping it a buck. And then you got people sitting up there feeling sorry for that dude. Well, some people, but it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy seeing Teofimo getting beat up. It was great to see him get beat up. And I know, as a media person, I know I can fall out of favor with some of these media outlets, because at the end of the day, he snaked everybody. And he outsmarted himself. He snaked his promotional company. He snaked, and he was sitting up there, hey, they would have get the victory. How I don't even know how a judge had it in favor for Teofimo. He clearly lost that fight. He got battered. He got beat up. He got pumped up. He got busted up. That fight wasn't even remotely a split decision. But I just wanted to put that out there because I enjoyed that, because like I said before, this dude was calling Wilder out his name, saying Wilder need to accept his defeat like a man. But then this dude is doing the same thing. And see, that's the thing. Nobody won't say that. But that's the thing. Nobody won't say that. But I'm going there. Oh, man, appreciate the donation, man. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there because somebody need to go there. Now, if I see the dude in person, I got to, if they're, I got to be professional and stuff. But on my own outlet, I got to keep it a buck. This is just how I feel about the situation. That's exactly how I feel about the situation. Teofimo, he got touched up. He got lumped up. And now he's sitting up there having the audacity to say, that he got robbed, or that he won that fight 10 rounds to 2. No, you lost that fight. Like I said, it would be generous to find 5 rounds to give Teofimo. I mean, if you do the eye test, you can clearly see who was doing more damage. whose game plan and strategy was working more for them than versus the other guy. Kambosos didn't have to make no adjustments. Oh man, appreciate that. Appreciate the donation. He didn't have to make no adjustments. He basically used his jab. He used great counter punching. That overhand right was there for him all night. To be honest with you, had he had a little bit more power, he probably would have got Teofimo out of there. So now it's kind of funny. It kind of makes you go back to Lomachenko. This further proves what I was saying about Lomachenko, that Lomachenko was never a top 10 pound per pound fighter. This further proves my point that Lomachenko was never a top 10 pound per pound fighter, and that he was overrated, which I think he is. Lomachenko is a great fighter, but to sit up there and have Lomachenko in the same category and mentioning him in the same breath as Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, those type of dudes who already, before 20 full fights, already got two losses in. So I want you to look at who Lomachenko lost to. Lomachenko lost to a dude with double-digit losses. This is just real talk. Lomachenko lost to a dude with double-digit losses who works as possibly an Uber driver part-time. And then he lost to a dude that lost to his mandatory, that lost to a dude that nobody ever heard of until the fight got announced. So that just says a lot about Lomachenko. So when people sit up there and try to elevate Lomachenko in the greatest of all time, Lomachenko is not the greatest of all time. So just stop it. I don't want to hear that no more. I don't want to hear that from Lomachenko fans. I don't want to hear that from nobody. Look who Lomachenko then lost to. Look who his two losses is against. He already has 2 losses before he has 20 fights in. So this is what I've been saying all the time. I know styles make fights, but at the end of the day, if you're going to sit up there and say that somebody like Lomachenko should be mentioned in the same category with Floyd Mayweather and all those kind of dudes, the Floyd Mayweathers, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Hearns, Duran, all those type of dudes, and he already got 2 losses before he got 20 fights in, it's laughable. And like I said, Lomachenko was never the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. Like I said, he got skills. But he can be beat. And he's been beaten twice. On the verge of possible. He came back in there and won the fight. But he put Lomachenko on that. So am I gloating about what happened to Teofimo Lopez? Well, you figure it out. I'm listening to his father in the corner, not giving him good instructions. So it was just all downhill. And like I said before, I know these fighters watch my videos. Hey, it is what it is. I never caught Teofimo Lopez because I was going to ask him. I'm not going to say you got to be careful what type of language you use, but I was going to ask him about using that N-word and stuff. But yeah, he got lumped up. I thought I won the fight. What fight you thought you won, Teofimo? What fight, Teofimo? What fight you thought you won? The only fight that Teofimo won is who had more cuts and bruises than the other fighter. Now he won that contest going away. He won the contest of who bled the most in that fight because it was clearly him. Now, I like something that Kambosos Jr. said. He said that He may be in attendance for the Devin Haney fight. That's coming up. Oh, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. He said he may be in attendance for the Devin Haney fight. It sounds to me like Timboso may go with Devin Haney, and then we could get a real undisputed. And at the end of the day, I think he's a matchroom fighter. So a fight with Devin Haney, a lucrative fight with Devin Haney, should be easy to make. Now, my question is, would Devin Haney be willing to go to Australia? I'll ask him, but I don't think Devin Haney should have to go to Australia. I mean, he fought in New York City. Why not just why not just stage a fight in Las Vegas? I just don't think Devin Haney should have to go to Australia to fight. So if I'm Devin Haney, I would hold out at least to see, can we get the fight in Las Vegas? Get the fight in Las Vegas. Bring the fight back to the MGM Grand Garden Arena or the Mandalay Bay. You know what I'm saying? You'll have time, and then, I'll have a lot of time to help put the fight together, promote the fight. So that's what they need to do. But Devin Haney, he got to take care of business. He got to take care of business Saturday. He got to take care of business versus JoJo Diaz. Now, Devin Haney have even more incentive to go in there and take care of business. But I want him to be Devin Haney. I don't want him to go in there feeling like he got to knock Diaz out. Go in there, handle your business, just win the fight, win your rounds, look dominant. If the knockout comes, then by all means, take the knockout. But don't go in there trying to stop him. Just take care of business, just win. That's all he got. That's all he got to do. Yeah, that would be a meaningful fight for Eddie Hearn to make a undisputed, make an undisputed 135 fight. That would be big for Devin Haney. That would be big for Bill. That would be big for the Bay Area, because Devin Haney was born in the Bay Area, so that would be big. I don't think there's ever been a Bay Area born fighter that ever went on to become undisputed, because there's not too many people that have been undisputed anyway. But if Devin Haney can pull this off, man, solidify history. And Devin Haney's not even 25 yet. So if Devin Haney can pull it off, man, that would be just extra good. Well, let's just hope Eddie Hearn don't find a way to screw this up. I expect Eddie Hearn to be in attendance. I expect Eddie Hearn to be in attendance for this particular fight. I'll try to get an interview with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is everybody gonna be looking for. Well, that's what I told them. That's what I told them when I spoke to them. I told Bill after the Lewis fight that Devin Haney don't need to get caught up in whether he get the knockout or whatever. If you win in the fight decisively and dominating, that's all that matters. As long as you going in the fight whooping ass and looking good doing it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay. Well, okay, Lewis is, okay, well then, Lou will make the fight. Lou will make the fight. We all know if it was we all know that if it was a PBC fighter, then might be some questions raised. Because Lou DiBella, he fell out of favor with Al Heyman. So let's just hope we can get this fight made. Kimboso said that he's interested in the Devin Haney fight, and why not? Because you would make a life-changing payday. You probably would make anywhere from $2 to $3 million possibly. And should Devin pull this off, which I believe Devin will, they get the fight made, he becomes undisputed, I don't want to hear nothing about how Devin became undisputed, because at the end of the day, Canelo, he didn't even fight for one of those belts at super middleweight. They took it from David Benavidez, and then they put him in basically an eliminator bout. He won, and that's how he got that belt. He didn't get it from the actual champion. So that's all I want Devin Haney to do, is take care of business. Next Saturday, I'll be there. I'll be in attendance. Just take care of business and get this over with. Enjoy your victory, and just sit back and just wait and see, can you get that undisputed? Because at the end of the day, fights got to be made. History got to be made. We got to start getting these. We got to start getting these fights made. We got to stop worrying about promotional companies. We got to stop worrying about all this kind of stuff. This is where content creators go wrong sometimes. Trying to negotiate on behalf of their favorite fighter. I just want this fight to get made. I want it to get done. So like I said, we can have an undisputed. Now, getting back to Teofimo, like I said before, I saw a lot of flaws in Teofimo. At times, he was gun shy. He was kind of scared to let his hands go. Footwork isn't all there. I mean, he just, you just saw a lot of flaws. Can't get out the way of an overhand right. You can hit him with hooks. If you got a good jab. Because Camboso, he didn't do nothing special. He did basic stuff. Basic stuff. And it worked. And then the funny thing is, Teofimo outsmarted himself, because Camboso Jr. don't have to give him a rematch, because from what I heard, that they have a no rematch clause. So he doesn't have to run it back with Teofimo. And keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, Teofimo had a no rematch clause with Lomachenko. So just talk about everything just backfiring for you. Okay? So just talk about everything going wrong. Okay, you don't get to fight on ESPN because your promotional company lost a bid. So this fight is put off so many times. Change the dates, change the venues, questionable ticket sales. So you give Camboso Jr. more time to study you, learn you. And then he goes in there and he beats you soundly. I just couldn't believe how easy Teofimo was getting hit in that fight. And I mean, he was just getting nailed in that fight. Couldn't defend the jab, couldn't defend the hook, couldn't defend the overhand right. He just got hit with every, and man, and just think, if Camboso had been a better body puncher, that fight might have ended sooner. Might have not even have went the distance. And then to just see Teofimo say that I thought I won 10 rounds. Deontay Wilder, this is the difference. Deontay Wilder didn't say that he won the fight. He felt that he got screwed in the fight. That's the difference. Teofimo went into that fight and got his ass whooped. And then complaining about the judges and all that kind of stuff. So I was happy to see that we had a fight where the judges actually got it right. Except for one. I don't see how that fight could have been a split decision for Teofimo Lopez. I'm sorry, I just didn't see it. I can understand the other fight. I can understand the Fulton Brandon Figueroa fight. I can understand that. That's a different story. That was a more closer and competitive fight than the Teofimo Lopez fight, where you could clearly see that Teofimo Lopez got whooped on in that fight. It's just that simple. Why people, including Teofimo Lopez, and I don't even think his fans can make an argument that he won that fight. I think he's the only one that think he won that fight. Now, me myself, it's not my job to tell the fighter to change trainers and none of that stuff. But a lot of people are questioning him being with his father. A lot of people said that. Nah, 7-5 is cool. I had it 8-4. I had it 8-4. Now, like I said, a lot of people are questioning Teofimo being coached and trained by his father. Oh, appreciate the donation. But as I said before, that's something Teofimo has to decide. Because like I said, I'm not going to tell fighters to change trainers. I'm not going to tell fighters to pick a promotional company to go to. I'm not going to campaign and advertise for no promotional company. Like I said, when I get a check, then I'll start campaigning. But that's the talk around social media. Should Teofimo Lopez move on from his father? I don't know. I can't speak for Teofimo Lopez, but let me explain this to you guys so you can get a better understanding what I would do. I have to, when you in a situation like that, when you've been with somebody that's been there with you from the start, from when it took off, it's kind of hard to call a person, especially somebody that raised you, that brought you into this world. It's kind of hard to say, you know what, Dad, decided I'm moving on. I'm gonna let somebody else train me, because it's a lot of emotion involved. And I asked that question behind the scenes about another fighter. I would never say, and I got the response that I wanted to get, But what I would do, and this is my own personal belief, if I feel like I've reached my peak or my limits with this dude, and I feel like I can do better, then I would consider moving on. Now, if I feel like this dude has taught me everything I know, I've reached my ceiling, there's nothing else I can do to become a fighter, it is what it is with me, then you might as well stay. So that's all I'm saying. You have to weigh all options. But I'm not going to sit up here and tell Teofimo that he needs to move on from his father. That's up to him, and that's something that those two guys need to talk about. And that's just real talk. Even though his father, I'm not a big fan of his father, for something that allegedly happened in the gym. But, that's pretty much it. But anyway, thanks for tapping in. Just wanted to get a quick stream in. Appreciate all the donations. This your boy Teofimo. I'm out.